Hello and welcome to this video where I will be showing you 20 activities that you could do with your 6 to 9-year-old. So this is part of the video series where I'll be showing you 100 activities to do with your 6 to 9-year-old and 100 activities to do with your 3 to 6-year-old. So some of you might be wondering, why am I splitting up these activities into age groups? So this is basically based on Dr. Maria Montessori's idea of the 4 planes of development. So Dr. Montessori studied the life of man from 0 to 24. When I say studied, she observed and she made some scientific analysis and conclusions. So according to her, people reach maturity at the age of 24 or 25, which corresponds to many neurologists' idea as well, where the front part of the brain develops completely and the individual is conscious of the consequences of his actions around the age of 24 or 25. So she divided the age from 0 to 24 into 4 planes of development, where each plane consists of 6 years. The first plane is 0 to 6, the second plane is 6 to 12-year-olds, the third plane is 12 to 18-year-olds, and the fourth plane is 18 to 24-year-olds. So more about these planes of development later. All you need to know right now is that in each plane of development, you would have noticed that people and children display different characteristics. So we've been speaking about the 0 to 6-year-olds in my other videos. So today let's do some KYC about the 6 to 9-year-olds. To understand the second plane, you need to know a little bit about the first plane, because Dr. Maria Montessori believed, and it is very clear in life as well, that what you do in a certain age is based on what you know already. So if you're going to learn something new, you have to start from what you know. So the 0 to 6-year-old was an absorbent child who looked at everything around him and absorbed everything. And then from 3 to 6, he became conscious of what he has observed, and he's trying to refine his physical movements as well as classify all that he has observed. So the 6 to 9-year-old is no longer having that innate sense of order that the 3 to 6-year-old possessed. The 3 to 6-year-old would be very careful about where things should go back and how things should be done, and they get very cranky when their schedule is changed. However, the 6 to 9-year-old doesn't get cranky, but they do have a lot of questions when a schedule gets changed. And however, they are a little clumsy, if one might put it that way, and they don't really care about the external order. However, they have a lot of questions about the world and how it functions, and the need for satisfying their intellectual order now takes precedence. So if you are an elementary teacher, or if you're a parent of a 6 to 9-year-old, this is one phrase you would have definitely heard: that's not fair. So children in this age are constantly asking themselves what is right, what is wrong, and how they gain this information is by looking at us adults. So their morality is based on what they observe in these years. Therefore, they have a lot of important questions about the world as well. You'll find a lot of curiosity regarding death, about life, and you'll also find them being very prone to pretend play, and they have a very vibrant imagination at this point. And when I say imagination, it's not just a pretend play, and it's not just about fantasy creatures, but this imagination is also a very important tool for children to learn. Now they are no longer as literal as they were in the 0 to 6-year-old age group, but now they're able to imagine that the sun is a star and that the earth is actually moving around the sun, and we are tiny specks on earth. So this involves a lot of imagination from the child, and it is a huge milestone in terms of how they learn things now. Therefore, to stimulate this imagination, Dr. Maria Montessori says that the adult in the environment should become a storyteller of the truth. So a storyteller is very dramatic, he or she is very personal, and she gets into the depths of any concept. that they're trying to put across as a story. And it is necessary to become such a storyteller, but of the truth as well. I'm not saying don't read them storybooks which have fantasy elements. Right now you can, because they're in the right age group. But even when you talk about things like the world around them, try to be a little more dramatic, try to push their interest in it. In fact, you would have noticed that they are very attracted to certain things around them. For example, dinosaurs and these creatures that lived long ago, or the Egyptians and their mummies. All these become a huge source of interest for them. And remember the trivia that most of us enjoyed at school and had quizzes about, and some of us adults still do. Well, this is the age group which loves trivia, so they thrive on trivia, if I would say that. So give them encyclopedias, give them avenues of learning where they can pursue as well. Not everything is on Google, folks. Just ensure that you do not give them all the answers, and you don't give them like a one source for every answer. For example, if they want the spelling of a word while they're writing, it might be a good time to introduce dictionary skills and how to look up a word in the dictionary and see if they can spot the spelling themselves. So it's not necessary that you have to tell them what the answer is. Instead, show them ways in which they can research and find out. So that's what you do when the why question keeps going on, and that's what you do when why has a very long tail. This is also an age group where children love working in groups. So the main difference that you will notice from when you move from a primary 2.5 to 6 year old environment in a Montessori school to a 6 to 12 year old environment, the elementary environment, is you'll notice that there are children now in groups and they're working together. So I can imagine how difficult it must be for the children at home who are currently not being able to meet their friends and not work together or as teams. So there's a lot of drama also going on in this age group, where there's there's this one child that everyone wants to be friends with, and they understand that some children are meant to be together and some are enemies, and all that happens. So yeah, being an elementary teacher means you have to be a silent listener to all that drama and just be like, yeah, what do you think we should do? So that's what there's a lot of refereeing work to do. However, if the children are at home and they're missing out on all this, please do ensure that there are a lot of group video calls, that they get to talk to their friends. Maybe they can work on something together even from the comfort of their home. And yeah, so that is something that's very important to them. They are now social individuals, and in order for their intellectual independence to develop, they need this codependence amongst their peers. So we've spoken about the power of these children to abstract information, to imagine, to work in groups and find out what is right and what is wrong. But there's also some beautiful traits of the second plane child. While they can be frank and rude and very literal in their questions, they also are very compassionate, and they develop a sense of gratitude, which is beautiful. In fact, when I say storyteller of the truth, there's a story about photosynthesis. Yes, a story on photosynthesis in the Montessori environment. And many children actually, once they hear that story, they are very grateful to the plants around them. And gratitude and humility is something that history and geography and botany can teach us. And that's what the 6 to 12 year old is actually in a place where they can be receptive to such feelings. So do try to introduce that to them as well as you go about the activities, and just let them quench their own thirst for knowledge by finding out the answers themselves, because they are now explorers and they want to discover the universe, because the world is not enough for them. So check out these activities. There are 20 of them in this video. Stay tuned for more information. Stay tuned for more activities, and you can also check out the activities in the highlights reel on my Instagram page, which is at I teach I learn. So I_teach_I_learn on Instagram. And Let me know what you think, and do share this with parents and subscribe for more content. See you later. Bye.